And good afternoon. Actually, it's about 12 hours since I made the last video. God, I was so tired last night. And now for something slightly different. Who was that? Monty Python, wasn't it? Or was that completely different? It is a bit completely different, actually. I've been tipped off about fraudulent practice by bailiffs. And this is something which will resonate with quite a lot of you, because this is about the bailiffs who appear on, I think it's Channel 5, the show Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away. And one of them is called Phil Gardiner. I forget the other one's name, Bill Hill or something like that. Right, so basically they work for a firm called, I don't want to get this wrong because it's all initials, DCBL Limited. That's Delta Charlie Bravo Limited. What did the L stand for, Sly? I can't remember. Anyway, it's DCBL. So I think that stands for something like Debt Collection Bailiffs. I don't know. You can look up the website. They've got a website. And as it turns out, continuing the practice of corrupt bailiffs such as Newlyn, who we all know and don't love, because there's been a few videos about them after I went to court with them. As it turns out, there's something called the Bailiffs Register, which anyone can search, because these people are supposed to be public servants and therefore are supposed to be accountable. Do note the use of the word supposed. And I don't think the firms themselves have to have a license, but I googled the firm anyway. And I also googled Phil Gardner on this. Say googled, it's searched, isn't it? And none of them come up. There's not a license in sight between any of them, apparently. And I forget the actual law, but it is actually, to act as a bailiff when one is not licensed to do so is actually a criminal offence. Which does make me wonder why the police don't take action more often against these people. But then, of course, they're all mates, aren't they? And that got me to wondering about my friends at ProServe, Stephen John Duff, who's taken great delight in attempting to intimidate me and scare me and various other things. So I googled him and I googled ProServe, which is the firm. And yet again, no sign of a license anywhere. In fact, when I searched ProServe, one name came up, and it was some bloke who'd got his license in, I think it was Carmarthenshire, which is Wales, if you don't know. So I'm not even sure that is the same firm, to be honest. I know you're not supposed to have a firm with the same name on the business list, but I don't know. So it occurs to me, really, especially after my experiences with Newlyn, who have probably somewhere in excess of, well, I'd say they've got at least 50 contracts with councils around the country. And of course, when I unwittingly wrote to Jonathan Ginogly MP, who is my local MP, who, I've got to be honest, I didn't even realise he was Minister of Justice at the time, as Newlyn tried to make out in court. I wrote to him because he was my MP. He's no longer a top government lawyer. He's now on the back benches. And that's the second time in 2 videos he's had a mention. You're about to have a very bad day, John. So, yes, After my experiences with Newland, sorry. Who, by the way, I never did have to pay the £500 cost to, because I think the judge had been parachuted in at the last minute, because obviously that had been fixed, because the trial had been scheduled to be heard after this sort of other claims compensation case, and that was going to take all day. So that was obviously all smoke and mirrors. They do not want me in a courtroom. The government is scared of me. Dave, hello Dave, are you out there? Why are you scared of me, Dave? So anyway, after my experiences with Newland, sorry if you, I'm just, I think I'm still quite tired. It's now got me to wondering how many of these so-called bailiffs do actually have licenses to practice as a bailiff. I mean, I'll leave that up to you guys, you know. If you are in the unfortunate position that for whatever reason, I don't know, whether it's council tax or domestic bills or whatever it is, if you're in that unfortunate position where you have actually got people knocking on the door, waving little badges in your face and showing you paperwork, which doesn't make much sense because it never does, you are entitled, as per the ruling of bailiff's visits, to request them to go away and come back at a convenient time. Now that is an appointment which should be arranged preferably a week in advance at a time that is suitable to you, because there are rules as to when they can actually knock on your door, which is, I forget the exact times, but it's sort of an anti-social hours thing, you know. They're not allowed to come round at 9:30 at night and start harassing you, because that's unreasonable. So request them to go away, because this is about, you know, this isn't even about Newlyn or ProServe or DCBL. This is about all of them, the whole lot of them, the whole lot and corrupt lot of them. And check them out. Look up the bailiff's register. If you've got paperwork with a court on it and a reference number, phone the court, ask if that's real. I'm led to believe, as in the case of the councils, when they're chasing council tax, that in a lot of cases, if you actually phone the court when you get the paperwork through, the court won't have heard of that case. Because what the councils do is they book a day, they book the court for a day, and they just churn people through, whoever turns up basically. And as we've seen as well, God, this is all fitting together quite nicely, isn't it? And as we've seen as well, there's a woman called Christina Allenson, who's an absolute fucking disgrace. She works for, or did work for, well, she's resigned 3 times, I think, apparently, but she's still there. She worked for Huntingdonshire District Council as a licensing manager, and she was also a sitting magistrate. So she was probably the one in the courtroom when you went to see about your council tax, deciding whether you should pay your council tax or not. Which is sort of like a turkey not voting for Christmas. Or voting for Christmas. Well, they're not going to vote for Christmas, are they? So she's not going to say that you shouldn't pay your council tax because she actually works for the council as a licensing manager. Okay, it's not council tax license or anything, but she works for the council basically. So this is, you know, I've done a few different bailiffs videos, and this DCBL thing has just popped up on my radar. Sorry guys, but you're going to regret that. And I've actually emailed them on their website. You can contact them on their website with one of these in-mail things. And I've asked them to provide proof that all their bailiffs have licenses to practice. And I've told them that I'm going to contact the police if that evidence is not forthcoming. I mean, regardless whether the police do anything or not, don't ever stop trying, guys. This is the thing. Don't ever stop trying. No matter how many times you get knocked down or knocked back, just get up again and have another go, you know. Because one day, and it's happening now, things are changing, you know. So, as I say, I doubt the police will do anything, but we live in hope. So this is specifically what kicked this one off. This is DCBL. They feature on the show Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away on national television. And I'd love to hear their comments as to why I cannot find a single licensed employee within their firm. Hi. I'm sure you're watching this. So, Phil Gardner, if you're there, call round and see me, or, you know, you've got my email address. Can you come and explain that, please? Or can the managing director of DCBL come and explain that, please? Love to know why you're not on the bailiffs register. And as I say, guys, just I know it's frustrating. I know it takes your time up, but if you lay down and roll over, these guys are going to walk all over you, and they won't give a flying fuck. They don't care. They will see you out your house, and they will go home, and they'll have a bloody shandy, and they won't even think about you. So treat them in the manner in which they treat you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I shall see you again.